na na. Keys have bun in her pocket so she feel nice. She na borrow girl clothes in her real life. She na sponge pan a boy what him feel like. Can buy some drink if him feel like. Nobody worry about Keys, she alright.
It was all a dream. I used to watch JBC. I know me they a street Keeks TV. I just a black ghetto youth like me. You can be anything that you wanna be, yeah. Here man, I'm a Tom all the day out of the slum king. I may represent for Street Keeks TV Entertainment. Out of the slum, Street Keeks Ghana road, you know how.
From here, the voice you don't know, say a Jason, you know, representing for Street Keeks TV Entertainment. You don't know, you know. We have real friends, but we have some fake ones too.
Yo, you done those tiny booster. You feel me? Straight out of Peck now, SN1. Alright, now you're locked to a Street Keeks TV. You already know the hottest. You already know what's really good.
Okay, so first, like, you know, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and that nigga talk back there, bro. This shit, I ain't just called a nigga out the blue.
Yeah.
Me and that nigga talk back there.
You talking about you were 50?
Yeah, man. We talk about this shit, man. This shit just come out of nowhere.
Alright.
Nigga, we were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows and shit while we were around each other, man. You know what I mean? I said, shit, what you think about this? He was like, shit, you want to do that shit? I said, yeah. He was like, all right, cool. So shit. And I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up. And he said, all right. And when I jump out there, nigga act like he ain't know what the fuck was going on. Then that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? Now, it about, oh, you playing? Oh, okay, you gonna play. All right, cool. But how about fuck all of it? Fuck all of it. I don't even want, man, cause now I question your character. Any nigga gonna get kick that kind of shit, then, you know, man, nigga just say you don't wanna do it. All the other extra lame ass shit, man, this shit goofy.
So y'all talked about it, you saying? You went out there.
Years ago. Years ago we spoke about it.
I think it'd be a great battle though. I think,
man, that shit ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna happen, man. I don't wanna stand on stage with him. I have no interest in standing on stage with that nigga. I don't respect him. Okay, so first, like,
fuck, post a picture of your motherfucking mama. She dead. Hey, respect, nigga. Stop fucking playing with my mama. Nigga ain't playing like that. Nigga ain't going like that, nigga. How y'all raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama. I'm not going. So tell your mama dig her ass up and post a picture that look better than my mama, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? Y'all better tie y'all shoes. Y'all don't know who y'all fucking with, nigga. You better put that music up. Shut the fuck up, cause all that other shit ain't gonna get it. On my mother, your mama dead as fuck, nigga.
Energy Empire. Sorry about that, Energy Empire. Your girl's got a little snuffles and things. What's really good? Hey, we're not even gonna delay it. What is really going on with the Troll Master? Right now, it is very sticky. The fact that I'm seeing my two rappers from the A and from the NY go back and forth, TI 50, oh my lord, and it's serious. One thing you know, 50 ain't gonna back down, but one thing you know, TI is gonna pump that calculation. I like it. The son's involved. Jesus. Who's lining up the boxing match for 50 Cent's son and TIP's son? But you know what? Let's not even delay. Let me see what's really going on. So it looks like a beef is reigniting. And the thing is, from my understanding, it seems like this is all to do with T.I. calling out 50 Cent for a verse of saying he wants to rep the A, and that's 50 is supposed to be the king of New York. Let him rep the M. Alright, so we've got music going on. Yeah, for this week, but we're not even gonna get there yet. Let's just stand right here for a moment, because it's serious. I saw dead parents getting cussed, and it's all. Listen. Let's just pause. Let's just take a minute. Let me just, you know what, Father God, protect me as I do this live. Hallelujah, amen. All right, energy and power. So back to the program. You know what? Let's just go straight to academics, because you know what, academics has got everything live. So you know what, we're gonna just start from the beginning to the end.
I'll whoop your head, boy. The back of the steel, I'll whoop your head, boy. The cap will get peeled, I'll whoop your head, boy. Your ass will get killed.
I'm on the grind hustle, got the mind and the muscle, 50 carats in the crown, just to shine.
Part has.
They got me feeling like I'm academics.
All right. The beef between, and I'm calling it beef, because T.I. and 50 Cent seemingly first started from trying to do a verses. And we get it all the time. In that space of doing verses, sometimes people feel like they're above doing verses with certain people. Sometimes they don't feel people are in their caliber. Sometimes one person probably needs it more, maybe for career rejuvenation or otherwise. But T.I. has long publicly challenged 50 Cent to a versus battle. Now, the reason why I'm characterizing this whole thing as beef is that there's nothing that 50 has ever said that makes me think he respects T.I. musically in terms of him asking for that versus, that he would ever do it, or even if he respects him as a man. If I ask you to play a game of basketball and you tell me, no, you're a snitch, that's beyond the game of basketball. That's you not having respect for me as a man. It's not even turning down what we, the competition. It's you disrespecting me. Now, I was wondering where this was going to go, and we're going to try to figure out the origin, but 50 has been triple downing on calling T.I. a rat, while T.I., for the most part, has avoided reciprocating that energy and basically kept saying, oh, no, he's just ducking me. No. He's more than ducking you, even if he is. He's saying you're a rat. Answer that allegation. He's calling you a rat. That's what's going on. And for the longest, T.I. was acting like his ears didn't hear those words. So let me give you a little bit of how it started recently. Again, not how it started from the beginning, but how it started recently. So T.I. and 50 Cent. T.I. was asked, I believe, by Shannon Sharp on stage, hey, who would you want to do a verse? Asked, I believe, by Shannon Sharp on stage, hey, who would you want to do a verses with, brother? And while asked that, and
he would say this. To go, and then goddamn, when I was talking to Swiss, I was like, shit, man, yeah, I'd do it. But really, the motherfucker that really would be the one.
I remember seeing this.
But if Gucci, you young and Gucci, that's the one. And then he hit me back. He was like, shit, Tip, don't even trip. I think we're going to get Gucci to do it. I said, well, you don't need me then. But that's the one. Hold up, I mean? But then Jeezy and Gucci already. No, they were before it happened. Oh, okay, before it happened. Before it happened, they were talking. Okay. But I'm saying, so right now. And then I called my man. I said who I wanted. You want Weezy? Nah, I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though. I called my man. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke. It's cool. So now.
What's wrong with Shannon Sharp? So pause. Okay, so we're getting some context. So basically, T.I. is saying before Gucci and Jeezy done their verses, he was in conversations with the people behind verses. Timberland and Swiss and all the other people who come together to make that fabulous project. So. Right. T.I. is telling Shay Shay that he wanted 50 Cent. Now, I know when this originally happened, a lot of people was questioning why T.I. wanted to collaborate with 50 Cent on a versus coming together. And at first, I could understand why people might have questioned it. But then when I heard the actual what we will say, the scenarios behind why these two would be a good fit, because commercially one represents for Atlanta, one represents for New York, and both of them have commercial hits that's hit the international market. That makes sense. Is 50 Cent the only person who could go up against T.I.? Not really. But when you think about collaborations, hits, there is a good lineup there when it comes to 50 Cent and T.I. I actually saw someone post, I think it was like 20 songs. Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I could pull up these lists that I saw floating around with 50 Cent and T.I.'s actual catalogs that's peaked the charts, and the actual song history that they have that possibly could be a matchup for them to compete against each other. So I'm gonna see if I could pull that up, but we're gonna follow on what Akademiks is saying.
Oh, my man, I said who I wanted. You want Weezy? Nah, I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though.
I see why Shannon was saying Wheezy, because Wheezy's from ATL, and that makes sense.
So now here we
The only thing is, Wheezy against T.I. may be mismatched simply because Wheezy has a serious catalog. Like,
Wayne wouldn't be bad. I respect Wayne. I'm a hot boy fan. Yes, sir. I feel like that would make some. Okay.
wait, hold on, Akademiks. Yeah, so you see how T.I. saying they mentioned Wayne, that makes sense. He said just now, you heard him, that he respects Wayne. Now, back to where I was. T.I. and Wayne both being from the A would make sense. The A, for my UK people, Atlanta. So now, when I think about that, both of them have a strong catalogue from the early stages of Lil Wayne's career. The early stages of T.I.'s career, he had a lot of classic anthems, and then so did Lil Wayne. But then when they go further into their musical history, there's been moments where T.I. has taken gaps, and then Lil Wayne has still continued. So his catalogue of commercial hits that most people is gonna know outside of his mixtapes and all those things, underground music, T.I. may not have enough material to level up with Lil Wayne. But 50 Cent and T.I., when you think about both people's errors and the mixtape they've done, the albums they've dropped, and then the collaborations that they've done, and then also any songwriting work that T.A. may have on his credits, is something that 50 is notorious for. We've all heard and we've all seen that 50 Cent has written a few lyrics for a few different artists in the game right now. So when you think about those kind of things like material, songwriting, collaboration, individual projects, they both make sense to go against each other, as one reps for Atlanta and one reps for New York. So yeah, let's go, Akademiks.
Yeah, Tip said he want 50. I like that. Yeah, I mean, So let me ask you a question. So it's 20 songs. Yeah. It's 20 songs. So let me ask you a question. So is it all your songs, or could it be something that you were featured on? I mean, I believe it could be anything that you had something to do with. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. But I ain't tripping. You can. Hold on. You finished the album already? I could be finished, but it ain't finished till it's out. What? Hold on.
Oh yeah, T.I.'s got an album that has now dropped a single project off of the album. We'll get to that. Do you know something? Hold on, pause. As we're here, let me just go and double check the name of that song, because I'm feeling that song still. I'm not gonna lie. And big up T.I. for dropping some music, because you know the other day I tweeted T.I. and I was like, hopefully your grandson makes you get back in the booth, because everything's inspiration. Even though he didn't reply, I was still gassed up. Because I seen that he dropped something. Let them know. That's what it's called. Produced by Pharrell Williams. You know what? Let's just get a little take on that, and then we can just move along.
So let me ask you a question. So is it all your songs, or can it be something that you were featured on?
I mean, I believe it could be anything that you had something to do with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But I ain't tripping. You can.
Hold on. You finished the album already?
I could be finished, but it ain't finished till it's out.
Well, hold on. Hey, listen. Well, Tip, you know I rap. Put your boy on now.
I hear you.
Yeah, you know I can.
I hear you.
Oh Lord,
That's your boy.
Tip, come
Hey.
on, Tip. I'm gonna have to leave Georgia.
Hey, get what? Hey, check this out.
Leave Georgia.
Man, pull on.
The checker flag running through the red light. 12 get me gun and won't pull over till I'm
Pull on up.
Okay.
Man,
So that conversation turned into really quickly 50 responded. But again, I'm using the analogy of you asking someone, let's play basketball, and their response seemingly isn't, oh, nah, I think I'm better than you, or you're trash at basketball. They instantly they say something like, ain't you a snitch? Didn't you R-word that girl or something like that? So 50 posted this. He posted two things. First, he posted this video of the old video that people know and is tied to T.I., where he did a commercial for Crime Stoppers. And 50 said, why you make me do this, nigga? This is the first song I'm going to play. You so tough. Okay, so he's saying if he ever faced T.I. in a versus, the first song he's going to play is this.
That can help our mothers, our sisters. That can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers. Help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Channel 2, community coverage you can count on.
So, Energy Empire, let's start here. My rapper, T.I., this is pure madness. I can't do nothing but laugh, yeah, because you see in 50s fashion, he is treacherous. Energy Empire, if you know about the 48 laws of power, then you know that Robert Greene has implemented some of 50 Cent's laws in his book, which is now an additional aspect of new laws with this current mindset. 50 shut down T.I.'s request with the versus with just this troll instantly, because T.I. is a street rapper. And then you've gone to do a Crime Stoppers video to tell people that if they have seen anything happening in the streets to report it to the 50. Energy Empire, I know right now we're upset because we want to know how the hell did T.I. get himself into this madness. And that's just one part of it. Because the other part of what 50 Cent dropped, yeah, which we're going to see in the next part, which I've seen, which was the identification of images in the court hearing, that just makes it even worse, because the claim snitch rap, he's not going to be able to escape that. Now, there's context to how T.I. actually ended up doing the Crime Stoppers. There was some information about him being on probation, such and such. We'll get into that. But that is not excusable, because I'm from the streets, and there's two sides to this. When you think about the streets perspective, a rat is a rat. You call 50, you speak to the police, or you even tell somebody else information that can help somebody else to identify another person. It's a wrap. It's game over. Your street credibility is out the window. It's gone. So I see what 50 Cent tried to do here. 50 Cent said, forget the rap destroying. I'm going to destroy your reputation on the streets. Let's start there. So big up 50 on that. That was a power move when it comes to the street code. But then let's be thinking about this on another aspect as grown people. when you're from the streets, you're from the streets. You live a certain way, you talk a certain way, you walk a certain way, you rep a certain way. Now, no one can judge how you want to do you because it's how you want to do you. But there is going to be a point where you grow and you reform yourself. So you see, in an aspect of that, this is where you end up having people switching from the streets and wanting to change their life. And sometimes they don't change their life in a positive way where they stay away from the streets and they just influence the culture and let the culture know that the things that they've done and how they could do better, right? So let's think about it on this. If you are someone who now has gone into that lifestyle and you're encouraging the young youths to come off of the streets and to do what's right so that they could live a longer life, because you know how it goes in the streets, you're not going to be a mentor who's going to say, listen, if you ever have problem, call the police. No, because it's not something that we do in the streets. So with T.I.'s message with the Crime Stoppers, that is already revoked because there will be no excuse for that, even if he was mentoring youths to come off of the streets. Now, where T.I. has got himself caught in a trap is because he is from the streets. And you know that when a system ties you to your crime, there's certain punishable acts that you are going to have to face. Now, T.I. having to do the Crime Stoppers video, he didn't have to do it. So we're going to hear and see why he actually done it. But when you think, okay, I'm someone who's going to come out of the streets, and I do have a street life, but I'm someone who's going to say this. When you're out of the streets, you got to watch your head back. So it is what it is. You're going to have to call the police. Now, that's something that only an individual character can judge by scenario. Because if you've never been in that scenario, you don't know how you're going to react to that scenario. What you would want to say is that being from the streets, I ain't going to call the police and I ain't no rat. And yeah, that's right. That's the right mentality that you should have if you live by the street code. We expect nothing less. But when you are someone who is from the streets and then you're going to reform your life and then you're going to go and do a Crime Stoppers video, that's like way out of the way. If any type of video T.I. should have done in that moment, if he wanted to show the youths a different way to come off of the streets, he should have done something like a youth program, you know, where he could get a couple youths off the streets and show how they excel in like basketball, you know, some type of sports, maybe the entertainment, maybe a Dr. Field or whatever it is, because you know there's more than the entertainment industry that we as the Black community can get involved in and actually be someone who's of prosperity in it. So with T.I., he's gonna have to explain himself, to the streets forever now, simply for the fact that every time he sees people or it comes up with music or whatever the case may be, he's already lost leverage because 50 has tried to destroy his character. Yeah, so let me just wrap this up. For the standard people, that's just standard civilians in the culture of today's society, if calling the police is what you want to do, call the police. No one can't call you a rat or a snitch if you stand on business and own what it is that you do. In this case, with T.I., it's very controversial because he is one of the homes in rap history. So for him to be doing a Crime Stopper video is way out of the way for what people would be expecting of him to do. And then not only that, the street perspective of it, conduct is been breached. So let's just hear a little bit more and see what's going on when we're talking about the T.I. situation.
Okay. Then he posted another video, and this time it was T.I. who took the stand during the trial of the murder, so the trial for the murder of his best friend Falant, where some guys allegedly after a club, not allegedly because they're convicted, some guys pulled up. I guess there was an argument back at the club. They shot into a vehicle, and it was a vehicle that was occupied supposedly by T.I. and his best friend, and I believe manager at the time, died. His name is Falant. He got shot several times, and he did not make it. This was very controversial at the time because hip-hop, even though it's always adopted this no snitching thing, people were trying to figure out, is cooperation at all cool?
So that question, is cooperation cool at all? The facts of the matter is this: if you're not from the streets, then cooperating with the police in any type of situation, fair play to you. If you are from the streets, cooperating with the police means that you are a rat. It's that simple, because in the streets, we classify anyone who is not on the side of doing the bullshit and fighting against the system as a rat, because you're someone who's easily to go and tell on what's happening. And all we as street people at the time, when I say we, I'm talking about the streets of the we, yeah, because I'm not in the streets anymore. I am actually reformed. Yeah, but I can speak on this because I know these things very well. So the streets, we, yeah, it means that once you are doing what you're doing in the street life, hustling or whatever, anything that goes outside of that can make us get caught up or in problems, you are on the wrong side. You are a rat. There's no other way around it. And the moral code on cooperating with the police, if you are not somebody who is in the streets, there's nothing wrong with that. You are just being a standard civilian, picking up your telephone and ringing 911 or 999 and saying, hello, I've seen such and such happening and I think that you need to get down here. Like, okay, bravo to you. But for the people who's in the street life, if you ever was to do that, they already know how that goes. Now, you see, in this context here, with T.I. taking the stand for not being a part of the case and identifying people who is a part of the case, it seems like, I'm going to actually go back into this before I even give too much details on this. It's very complicated because, how would we say it? You see, when you think morally, right? When something happens in your presence, the right thing to do is to help the situation if you are able to help without putting yourself at risk. Yeah? Now, when you think about someone close to you dying and you know that the people who's done it, there's only one thing that the streets would expect you to do, is to handle that, not be handling it in court. So this is why it would have been very controversial for T.I. when he actually was someone who took the stand and showed up for a friend that had passed away in a severity. Now, was that the right thing to do morally? Yes, it was. But when we're talking streets, hell to the no. He shouldn't even be present. So when Akademiks is talking about Busta Rhymes, yeah, that is the reason why Busta Rhymes broke the moral principle of doing the right thing. He fought streetwise. I am this sort of person. I'm known for this, and this is what I'm standing on forever. It's that simple. So with Busta Rhymes, I can see why a lot of people would have been in support for what he did, because he reps for the streets. But had he had done the opposition, he would be in the same position as T.I. right now. So with T.I. situation is very complex because T.I. seems like he has done this under the perspective of one of my friends is passed away and I'm stepping up and I'm saying what it is. Yeah. Now, when you think about that in the way that I just said that, there's only one thing that comes down to SNITCH, snitch. And you know something here as well, because you see, as I'm breaking this down, yeah, every time I laugh, yeah, it's just because when I think about the fact that this went from a versus to a serious troll that has brought forth a big conversation, yeah, I need to tighten up and stop laughing because respectfully, we are actually discussing a case about someone who's deceased. So rest in peace to the person and condolences to the family once again as history repeats itself in such a scandalous way. But for the situation as it stands, with T.I. doing what he's done, you see, you see, because I will have to really hear what T.I.'s reasoning was to even say if he could ever be exempt as someone who's stepped into the grounds of coming out of the streets perspective and doing the right thing. Because when you just think streets, you just know overall the right thing can never be done because it's the way the streets codes work. But when we're talking morally, as this conversation has come up, morally, if he's done the right thing, then what is the conversation about when it comes to him being a rat? If morally, we're talking morally, we want to know why T.I. has taken the stand, yeah, for a serious case. The obvious is there. The respect for the family and the care for the situation. And I would hope that that would be the case because I know that there's a bit more to this story which is complicated. So let's listen.
Now, some people make the amends to say, well, he didn't do a crime with these guys. And, you know, hey, this guy who died wasn't a street dude. But some other people say, dog, you're a street dude. Street dudes should never do this. So, also, there's another, like, associated, like, incident. One that happened with Busta Rhymes and, like, his bodyguard, I believe, got killed. Or someone close to him. And notoriously, Busta Rhymes just wouldn't cooperate with the police at all. And not only would he not cooperate with the police at all, even some people who were loved ones of this person really took issue with Busta Rhymes because they said, hey, listen, you're taking the street shit too far. We want justice. Our loved one was working for you at the time that they met their demise. We want answers and we want justice. And notoriously, Busta Rhymes was not cooperative, seemingly because of his own code. So also, there's another, like, associated, like, incident. One that happened with Busta Rhymes and, like, his bodyguard, I believe, got killed. Or someone close to him. And notoriously, Busta Rhymes just wouldn't cooperate with the police at all. And not only would he not cooperate with the police at all, even some people who were loved ones of this person really took issue with Busta Rhymes because they said, hey, listen, you're taking the street shit too far. We want justice.
As he mentions the Busta Rhymes clip here and I highlight it for you, I can understand the grievance of the family for Busta Rhymes not cooperating because morally is the right thing to do. But everybody has their own principles and morals that they stand by. And Busta Rhymes being from the streets, he took that route.
Our loved one was working for you at the time that they met their demise. We want answers and we want justice. And notoriously, Busta Rhymes was not cooperative, seemingly because of his own code. So people looked at both situations.
Fair.
He cooperated. Some people feel like it was out of guilt. It felt like he owed it to the mom of the person who died.
Yeah.
Felt like, hey, listen, this was going against street code.
Definitely.
Regardless, you know, in hindsight, people, you know, look at this and call it like cooperation.
50 Cent says, no, I don't like it. Versus, let's do. He said, no verses. Let's do. He said, stay away from competition and stay away from me. So he tells T.I., stay away from verses and stay away from me.
One thing 50 is gonna do is be petty and troll the hell out of you.
Oh, that's his body. And 34A. Yeah, that's the intro. And that's a picture of Falon with a bullet hole in his head. Yes, it is. And that's the bullet hole that you described.
Okay, so he's identifying his friend, which is the deceased.
The pan to the judge is crazy. It feels like even the judge is like appalled.
Stop it, Akademiks, you're doing mix up. The judge looks like him tired.
Family find out about his death. I called his mom first, and I told his cousin. I told his little girl. How old was his little girl? His daughter was 4 years old at the time. 5 years old at the time. And how did you tell his daughter that her father? How old was his little girl? His daughter was 4 years old at the time. 5 years old at the time. And how did you tell his daughter that her father was dead? He's in a better place and he won't be coming back. And I told her how much he loved her. And how did you tell his mom that her son was gone? Well, first I apologized. I apologized because, I felt that, all of those rounds were fired for me, in my opinion. So I apologized to her at first, and then I told her what happened to the best of my knowledge, and I told I didn't get to really say much.
There we go. Okay. Now, it appears that 50, this seems a little bit more personal than just, I don't want to do verses with you. A page named New Face posted a throwback clip of T.I. talking about like verses, and 50 commented. This what the clip was.
Please tell 50 bring his on out here and get this smoke.
Oh, Jesus.
Please tell 50 Cent get his hit records and come on and sit down and see what the South got to say, guys.
Jesus Christ. You say you want that man to see all full-fledged with the South.
I want him to see what the South got to say. Now listen, hey, I'm the king below the Mason-Dixon line, king of the South. I speak for all of the Southern people. New York been saying under their breath about us and having little slick comments about us thinking it's all slow down here. But they want to come down here and go to our malls and go to our clubs. But then they want to kick it like, nigga, we substandard when they get back up top. Well, that's stop right now.
Yeah, you say you done with that.
That's stop right now, guys.
You say you done.
Please tell 50 bring his on out here and get.
Okay, so then now we have the phone call where T.I. in the past had called out 50 Cent, for a versus, and then now Akademiks is showing us where they've had a back and forth where 50 calls him King Rat. T.I. replies, "You playing on my name when only one of us a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork, right? And my transcript is available online. Your excuses is useless. Get your whole ass in the box or shut the fuck up. And live in fear. You soft son. You've lost my respect." And you know how it went from there. Effing up. Okay, so T.I. has then dropped back the claim that 50 is a rat, and this has been something that has been a notorious rumor in the hip-hop community about 50 Cent's come up in certain songs, him listing out certain historic events. So right now, if those allegations were true on 50, then this is not even a battle anymore for a versus. This is a rat to rat having a war. So let's see what's going on. And this is allegedly, because allegedly in the hip hop community, as I just said, they say that 50 Cent has spoken on certain things which would identify him as a rat. And then with 50 calling out T.I. and dropping actual receipts, because the thing is with 50s, there's no receipts. People just say it because of songs where he's just spoken how it goes in the rap streets. Now, this is a dangerous game that these two are playing here, because both reputations are on the line. The difference is that people expect this character from 50, and the rap perspective of T.I., people don't expect that. And if you knew about it, you probably overlooked it because of the circumstances. But now that 50 Cent has brought this back into the public in 2025, 2026, ooh-wee, it's problematic.
Top. Well, which T.I. responded back in that comment section. He says, "You're playing on my name when only one of us is a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork, right? And my transcript is available online, nigga. Your excuse is useless. Get your whole ass in the box or shut the fuck up and live in fear. You're soft, son. You lost my respect. Fucking duck." Now, finally, T.I. has responded to exactly what, 50 is talking about. I think he gave 50 all the grace he could. 50 was not talking about verses. He was using verses to clown you because he says you're a rat. He says the first thing I'm going to play is your commercial for Crime Stoppers. The second thing I'm going to play is you being on the stand. Clearly, he's not trying to do verses with you. He's trying to highlight the fact he believes you're cooperant. T.I. finally answers back and he's saying, yo, hey, I got paperwork on you. He sounds like Whack 100, huh? Holy. Now, the depths of that beef, I'm a little bit confused about. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. I'm trying to figure out 50 Cent T.I. beef. Like, where does it originate from? Obviously, we know sometimes these things escalate and originate from way back. From all I know, T.I. has only ever called out 50 in a competition type way. Let me watch this. Oh, this bum ass nigga.
Seen a post today where they were saying that you were supposed to be in I guess one of the Power what's the name? I guess two of the actors on the show said that you were actually supposed to be on the show and then they replaced you with Method Man and they weren't expecting it or something.
No, that's not true. 50 and I, we were executive producers on a different show outside of the Power universe.
Okay.
But nah, man, me and 50 cool. I'm the only one who's not offended by his brass approach and he's not offended by mine. So, Nah,
that's not true, T.I. One thing I like about 50 makes it uncomfortable for people. And I often like to see the other gangs. This is honestly how why I love 50. 50 is probably the only rapper I've ever seen in hip hop history that I've never seen when there is potentially another gangster or maybe a bigger gangster that is now in the realm of talking shit and competing with him that he's kowtowed to. None of them. If anything, he makes it difficult for them, and they're usually on their tippy toes trying to avoid stepping on his shoes. That, to me, is a sign of the real boss. You have somebody like Mano, he's huffing and puffing, acting like he's tough, this and third. 50 starts getting on his head top. He basically releases a PR statement where he makes sure he doesn't want to disrespect 50. Got him. Even Jim Jones is got him. T.I. is like, oh, no, it's his brass approach. 50 doesn't explain it like that when he's talking about y'all. I said the same thing to Mano. Because Mano had, he had every word to say about me in the book. But then when 50 said, y'all are bitches and broke and squatters, he was like, I don't think, you know what? Squatters sounds good. Nah, Squatters, that's lit. Yo, name the next podcast. They had nothing to say. They didn't want the smoke. 50 makes it, 50 is the bully of the bullies. And that's one thing I like with him. He's the bully of the bullies. And it's been so many times I've seen him make other people who we think are gangsta or tough look like they're figuring out a way how not to get into it with him.
Yes, my energy empire. So in that case, it's a lot going on right now between the 50 and the T.I. beef. We've also seen that 50 and T.I.'s son have been going backwards and forwards. So if you haven't seen the clip that I've dropped before this one, then just go over to my page somewhere along. You will see it and tap in and let me know what you're thinking.